No matter how hard we try to avoid accidents or insurance scams, we can't control the actions of others, whether it's another driver making a reckless move or a pedestrian suddenly stepping into traffic. In just a split second, a normal drive can turn into a serious problem, and without evidence, the truth can easily be twisted. The dashcam market is huge, which makes choosing the right one quite complicated. That's why I decided to make things easier for you by presenting a 4K dashcam integrated into the rearview mirror housing from Mangoal, which also comes with a 1080p rear camera. We'll be installing this setup on this BMW G20. The front camera is almost invisible, doesn't obstruct your view and doesn't require any ugly power cables, while the rear camera is very easy to install, especially if you watch this video until the end. Let's start with a quick unboxing. As I was saying, the camera is from Mangoal, but this video is not sponsored. I am very satisfied with their products, so I recommend them to all my friends, and because most of them are not very technical, they usually ask me to handle the installation. To order any camera from Mangoal, all you have to do is use the link in the description or displayed on the screen, browse for your car model, and find the mirror housing that matches the one on your car. In my case, I need Model C. If you're not sure which model you need, just send them an email with a photo of your mirror housing and they will check compatibility for you. Then you can choose between the single unit version, the front 4K camera with a 64GB card, or the 4K front and 1080p rear version with a 128GB card. I'll add this package to the cart, go to checkout, and before placing the order, I'll use the discount code DIY Workshop for a 10% discount. I received this code some time ago for a Mangoal sponsored video, so it would be a shame not to use it. Let's see what you get in the package. You have several leaflets with quick instructions for installing the camera and using the app. If you scan the QR code, you also get an installation tutorial, but definitely not as detailed as mine. If you want, you can also order a GPS module so that besides the timestamp, the video will also display GPS coordinates. Then you have a very well made and much more detailed user manual. Here you can also find the technical specifications. I won't go through the entire manual because it is quite extensive. Here we have the front camera, which comes with a housing identical to the OEM one. On the right side we have a push to open card slot where I'll insert the 128GB card. On the front we have the camera lens, which I won't remove until the final installation. And on the left side we have a power button, a capture button and LEDs that indicate the camera's operating status. As you can see, the camera is very well protected inside the cover. Now we have a cable for the rear camera, one for the GPS module if you want to connect it, and this power plug to supply the camera from the rain sensor. To separate the two halves of the housing, you'll need to undo these clips. Here we have the rear camera with a sufficiently long cable and two quick connectors at the ends. You also get a spare sticker in case you want to remove the rear camera to another location, a plastic trim removal tool useful for installation, the cable to power the dash cam from the rain sensor, and the 128GB card, more than enough for storing recordings over several days. Let me show you how easy it is to install these cameras. I take the plastic trim removal tool from the box and separate the two halves of the original rear view mirror housing. It's incredibly simple and quick, that's what I love about BMW housings. Now I'll take the camera housing and separate it into two parts, using the trim removal tool to release the clips. Now I need to remove the red connector, the upper one, which powers the rain sensor. You can also pull directly on the wires, but I prefer the safe option using the trim tool. Now I take the Y cable from the box and connect the original connector to its matching pair. Then I take the connector that looks exactly like the original one and plug it into the rain sensor. And here we will connect the power cable from the camera. The camera has already powered on. Now I'll connect the connector from the cable coming out of the front unit labeled rear camera to the connector from the rear camera cable labeled front cam. I will remove this rubber boot because it doesn't leave me enough space to hide the junction between the two connectors that power the rear camera above the headliner. Then I'll insert as much of the Y cable as possible. For a quick and trouble-free installation, it's important to hide as much wiring as possible in the space above the headliner, otherwise the cables will get in the way of the clips and it will be hard to reattach the two halves of the housing. I'll leave the camera hanging by the wires and route the rear camera cable above the headliner toward the right side. Now I'll reinstall the rubber boot. I won't lie, it took about 10 minutes to get it back into position because the wires reduced the available space. All that's left is to connect the two halves of the camera housing. I lost some time here as well, but in the end I managed it and everything turned out great. Let's move on and install the rear camera now. As usual, I first routed the cable under the headliner toward the A-pillar trim. Then, using the trim removal tool, I routed it under the A-pillar trim until I reached the door. After that, I ran the cable above the headliner toward the B-pillar. Normally, I would route the wire under the B-pillar trim now, but on this model the space is almost non-existent, so I went down alongside it under the door seal. Once I reached the lower part of the B-pillar trim, I found much more space underneath and was able to cross toward the rear door. Then I went back up under the door seal alongside the B-pillar in the headliner, where I routed it underneath again. The headliner is quite sensitive and can crease easily, so don't rush this step. And I've reached the C-pillar. The space under the headliner near the rear window is very small, so we'll need to unclip the central trim. After you unclip that trim, you will have enough space to route the wire. Now, I could have routed the cable all the way to the central trim, but then it wouldn't have clipped back properly. In that case, I would have had to make a small cutout, but the owner preferred to place the camera slightly to the side rather than centered on the rear window. I hid the excess cable and the connection between the short camera cable and the one coming from the front unit above the headliner as well. The position where I'll stick the camera on the rear window and its orientation will be adjusted after I connect the camera to the app, so all that's left now is to clip back the trim that holds the headliner. As you can see, everything looks exactly like before. We have no visible gaps along the trims and the door seal has no creases. Let's see how everything looks in the back, and I want you to tell me in the comments if you think I did a good job. Let's see how the app looks like. First, install the SkyCam app from the Play Store or App Store and grant the requested permissions. Make sure location services and Wi-Fi are enabled. Again, grant the requested permissions. Then tap on Add Camera. Make sure the ignition is on so the camera is powered. Then Next. connect Wi-Fi, and select the network whose name you can find in the user manual. It always starts with Wi-Fi. The default password is from 1 to 8, but it can be changed later from the app. Go back to the app menu, and you're now connected to the camera. In the main menu you have live feed from both the front camera and the rear one. To switch between them you just have to tap the icon on the left. Also from the main menu you can take snapshots or pause the recording, as well as turning on or off the interior microphone. From here you can select full screen viewing. In the camera files menu you'll find all the stored recordings. The front camera files are marked with F and the rear camera ones with B. From here you can view, download, edit or even share the recordings. In the camera settings menu you can make many adjustments. You can change video or photo resolution, loop recording duration, collision sensor sensitivity and much more. Like most dash cams, there's no need to format the card as recordings are overwritten automatically. Let's watch a few daytime and nighttime recordings. I'll add some freeze frames here and there so you can see how good the resolution is at different speeds. These were a few random daytime and nighttime recordings sent to me by the car's owner. I've tested many dashcams on the channel over time and I can say that these Mangoal cameras offer surprisingly good video quality. When it comes to rear recordings, of course, the ideal result is achieved when the rear window is not tinted, which is not the case with this BMW, but even in these conditions the rear camera does more than a decent job. At night, as with any dashcam, image quality depends heavily on the level of lighting in the area you're driving through. There are no miracles here, regardless of brand or price. I've also tested much more expensive cameras with larger and theoretically more capable sensors, but those are universal cameras, and honestly, the fact that they're stuck to the windshield with visible cables inside drives me crazy and completely ruins the car's interior look. That's exactly why I prefer these cameras integrated into the rear view mirror housing. They blend perfectly into the interior, look OEM, don't obstruct your field of view, and leave no visible cables. From my point of view, the price to quality ratio is excellent, and for anyone looking for a discreet, clean and efficient solution, this type of camera is the ideal choice. That's about it for this tutorial. If you liked it and found it useful, don't forget to hit the like, hype, comment and subscribe buttons to reward the effort put into making this video. It only costs you a tap or a click. Until next time, I wish you safe travels. Bye bye.